Last week, out of nowhere, a dating app called T shot to the top of the App Store and then exploded like a React Native build on a Friday afternoon. It was supposed to protect women from creeps on Tinder. Instead, it leaked 72,000 photos and over 1 million private messages. Because, of course it did. It is August 1st, 2025, and you're watching the daily dose of AI, or in this case, the daily dumpster fire of Firebase. T was branded as a revolutionary by women for women app, except it was actually built by a dude with 6 months of coding experience. The whole premise? Let women expose toxic men they've dated on apps like Tinder or Bumble, so other women could avoid walking into a trap. Sounds noble, right? But instead of empowering users, T basically turned into a giant doxing machine with a pink logo. To sign up, women had to upload a selfie and an official government-issued ID for verification, which sounds like a responsible feature until you realize that data was being stored in a Firebase storage bucket that had all the security of a wet paper bag. Let me be clear, this wasn't some obscure zero-day exploit. The Firebase bucket was public, like open to the internet public. No auth rules, no encryption, no security, just a wide-open cloud folder full of thousands of sensitive documents, waiting to get indexed by anyone with a keyboard and an internet connection. Then came the inevitable. Hackers on 4chan swooped in, dumped 72,000 images, including over 13,000 selfies and ID photos, followed by another breach just days later, revealing 1.1 million posts, comments, and direct messages. It was like a speed run of every how to fail at security tutorial ever written. And once the data hit the internet, the vibe coders wasted no time. One guy wrote a Python script to scrape the images and categorize expressions. Another took geolocation metadata from the photos and plotted it all on Google Maps. Someone else built a website to rate the users by attractiveness using computer vision. Basically, it became a full-blown hacker sandbox overnight, but for the worst reasons possible. Meanwhile, T issued a corporate speak statement full of words like unauthorized access, legacy infrastructure, and taking steps to remediate, without ever admitting that they left the front door not just open, but swinging on its hinges. And if you've ever used Firebase, you know how hard it is to screw this up. The platform throws warning after warning if your data is set to public. Giant orange banners, constant emails, angry tooltips. You basically have to deliberately ignore every red flag like you're speedrunning a bad dev decisions checklist. And it gets worse. T's UI told users that verification photos would be deleted after account approval. Clearly, they weren't. Either the devs straight up lied, or they didn't understand how file persistence works. I'd call it gross negligence, but that might be insulting to negligent people. Let's be real, even ChatGPT wouldn't ship something this insecure. But here's the bigger issue. This isn't just a one-off screw-up. It's a symptom of a larger trend, where apps that claim to offer safety, privacy, and empowerment are rushed to market with the backend security of a college group project. And it's not just sketchy dating apps. Governments are now enforcing age verification for adult content sites in places like the UK and several US states, which means massive databases full of names, birthdays, and facial scans just waiting to be compromised. T was supposed to help women date safer. Instead, it served them up to the internet on a Firebase platter. The app wasn't just a failure in execution, it was a betrayal of trust. And the saddest part is that it'll happen again, because the incentive to launch fast usually outweighs the incentive to secure data. So here's the takeaway. If you're building any kind of app that handles sensitive data, don't use Firebase with default settings, don't skip backend audits, and for the love of God, don't lie to your users about deleting their info. T wanted to protect women from creeps. Instead, he put them in the crosshairs of the worst parts of the internet, all because one guy with 6 months of dev experience decided to vibe code a viral app using production data like it was a toy dataset in a bootcamp. Will this be the last app to completely fail at basic cybersecurity? Of course not. But until the next digital disaster rolls in, smash that like button, subscribe for more spicy tech meltdowns, and, as always, stay tuned for more AI dumpster fires.